Hello YouTube, this is the CrustyHouse here, and I'll be giving you some ZVP on Metalopolis. My opponent is Skoobah, or yes, Skoobah. I'm guessing. And I'll be playing the Zerg on the top left, and this map is Tal'Darim, so it is a pretty big map, and expansions are pretty much guaranteed that you're gonna do a fast expand just because there's such a long distance to travel. Um, this early game I am gonna fast forward because it's pretty boring. So yeah, as you can see, as the Protoss, he's doing a forge. That pretty much means he's going for a fast expand, just so he can have some early defense against a bunch of links, and he can wall off using these structures. I did put my fast expand also. I'll be going faster by 4. And at this point, if you see if you play Zerg and you see a Protoss fast expand, you always want to be at least tied with them at expansions. But like a great way to handle it is just expand again. As you can see, I'm taking a third. Early game, it doesn't matter if you're harvesters if you don't have a huge lead yet, because you are taking a third, so you did use those minerals for it. But especially on Tal'Darim, if you fast expand and you see your Protoss fast expand, there is no way they're gonna hit before 7 minutes unless they do a small push, which I had these spines a bit early because I thought he was gonna do an early push, but as you can see, it's 9 minutes. It's well into 9 minutes, and his first warpin or second warpin, I think, just occurred, and he is getting Colossi. I mean, like, so you see, like, you will be safe to just drone as much as you can before maybe 7 minutes. Like, the quickest they could attack, I guess, for 7 minutes. I mean, there are builds where you do have less pros. You see, he's almost tied to me with pros, but there are builds where you can hit at 7 minutes. But I don't really think that you can hit wave anytime before 7 minutes when you do a fast expand as Protoss. So pretty much I'm pretty much just taking this base just so I can get some gas, because I am going Mutalisk. Because I have had this tower, the only time I've made any lings was I've only made one pair, just put one here. I don't know why, it should be over here. But and one to take the tower. So I do see he is pushing out. So now you see all this larva that I saved up, because I did keep up on my injects with all these queens. All this larva is actually going to be used to create units. Oh, sorry for that swipe. So all these units are just swarming in right now, and see, as you can see, like, all his stalkers and colossi and warpins are just coming in, while all my forces plus these spine crawlers have just came in. So you do see that he does create a small economic lead, but I do hit with my Mutalisk to lessen that lead. Now I have a lead. And he just pushed in, but all these spines plus these lings, I mean, I didn't really micro this well. I just wanted to take out the Colossi because I knew he had the rage to kill the spine crawler. Pretty much can hold this off. I mean, it won't destroy it it won't like completely obliterate it, but it'll give you enough time to make another swarm of lings. And as you can see, I do make another swarm of lings. He does have good FFs, well, force fields, but I just push back. And I just make more lings, and you can see my money is very high because I did not hotkey this. All this larva, I did not hotkey it because early game I like to keep that separate only for drones, so then they don't see I have another third, because I usually hide my third, that way they can't see it, or like, because as you can see I do put a lot of spines here, but if I put it here, if I make a natural here, then he can easily kill it, and kind of if he had blink, he can blink into my natural. Well, he could do that anyways, but and if I put it here, I'd have to put even more spines here and here. So I do put a hidden expansion, and it's not that bad. I mean, if they do bring all their forces here, you can just put a few spines, and if they do push, you can just hit their main, and then they'll have to pull back. Pull back. And so right now, he does have more workers than me, but I do have this expansion running, which is not fully running yet because I see he's outside of my base, so I don't want to transfer my workers yet. I do want to do some harass to at least push him back a little. I mean, I don't know why he knows I have Mutalisk that he's still pushing. I guess like this was his somewhat all in, because Starcraft Colossi is a very strong composition, but but then once you have so many Mutalisks, I mean, Mutalisks can completely destroy Stalkers, especially if they're not attacking them yet. As you can see, the Stalkers are attacking the Link, and the only point of us focus firing the Stalkers this time was to destroy destroy anything that can attack my Mutalisk, because I did outnumber him in those, and his Colossi obviously can't attack air, so basically that's what you want to do as Zerg. My strategies against Protoss, because Protoss can be very strong if you let them macro strong, but as you can see, like, he was mined out at his main base, and he was pretty much on one base, while I was on 3 base comfortably. And I did upgrade my overlords because I was planning to do jobs, because I am trying to do more jobs, and at any time after this push, because each warpin would eventually become smaller and smaller because this economy wouldn't be able to sustain it. I could transfer these drones, or even pick them up with these overlords and then transfer them all the way here, and then my economy would have became even stronger. And then at this point, if you're the Protoss on this side, I mean, you, especially against Meter Harass, 2 cannons will do you great good. Like 2 cannons here, and here will be amazing. I mean, and plus, like, you don't want to leave the cannons alone. Like, you can leave like 2 stalkers at each of them, and then it'll be good enough to make them push back until they have a good number of Mutalisks. And if you see they have mass Muta, I mean, they're not gonna push into your base, because seeing that you do have all these gateways and plus the Colossi, but they will have a lot of static defense, like these spine crawlers, because the links will just get destroyed by the Colossi. So you really want to get High Templar at this point, because High Templar are great against Archons, and the Storm will just obliterate any Lings, and plus the Mutalisks. So you really, like, Starcraft Colossi is pretty like average now, because a lot of Protosses have done it in the past, and it was very strong at one point, where like a lot of people are like saying it's OP, but every build in Starcraft, in my opinion, is counterable. I mean, there are like strong points of each race at certain times of the game, like especially Zerg early game, they're kind of weak because they're trying to drone up to get a good economy, while Protoss, like, all their units are very strong, but they're expensive. So it's like, if you kind of let them get their higher tech units, then you're in trouble, because that their units are stronger. And so yeah, pretty much like this is my contain. I guess it wasn't really that good of a contain, seeing that I didn't really do any harassment here, but that's because he did go for a fast expand when and he did have no static defense. So I really think that he could have played a lot better. I mean, this wasn't this wasn't really tough game for me. I mean, I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I'm not amazing, but he just didn't apply any pressure. I mean, Warp Prism harass here, maybe Warp Prism harass here. I mean, like, there are a lot of stuff you can do as Protoss to counter this build. I mean, I've just been doing it recently just because it's like pretty average. I mean, Ling Muta, I mean, everyone knows about that, but a lot of people get lazy or greedy that they don't want to put static defense to use up minerals, and say like they don't put any at all, or they don't put enough. So like a lot of Protosses have trouble with this, but there are ways to do this. I mean, you have to be patient, especially until you get like High Templar. I mean, I would have definitely had more trouble if he had High Templar instead of Colossi, because he did have a Twilight Council, so he could have had High Templar. But if you're a Protoss, I mean, against Zerg, I mean, if they're not going Roaches or Roach Hydra, then I would strongly suggest that you go High Templar instead of Colossi. So that's it. That's the end of the replay, guys. Thank you for watching, and I will see you later. Please subscribe and comment and